You know, in a world dominated by high-capacity polymer-framed striker guns, it's easy to think the revolver is a relic. But let me tell you, sometimes smaller and simpler really is smarter. There's still a special place for the classic wheel gun, especially the modern ones, the ones that are so slim and snag-free they just melt into your pocket without making you feel like you need a set of suspenders to hold your pants up. I'm not talking about that dusty 4-inch service revolver your granddad kept in his nightstand. I'm talking about today's snubbies. These are purpose-built defensive tools, lightweight alloy frames, hammerless designs that won't catch on your shirt, and chambered in calibers that have real stopping power. They are built for one single purpose: to be on you, ready to go, when everything else has gone wrong. Whether it's a 6-shooter or a 5-shooter, alloy or stainless steel, what truly matters is that it's easy to carry and it goes bang every single time you pull the trigger. So today, we're going to break down 6 of the absolute best micro revolvers you can actually get your hands on in 2025. Some are featherlight backup guns. A few pack full house magnum power, and 1 or 2 blend that old school, all steel attitude with modern, deep concealment design. All right, let's kick things off. Number 6. Taurus 856 Ultralite. Look, let's just get this out of the way. For years, Taurus had a reputation. But if you haven't looked at their stuff lately, you're missing out. The 856 Ultralite is proof positive that they are seriously stepping up their game. This little 6-shot revolver gives you the power of 38 Special plus P in a package that weighs a mere 15.7 ounces. That's barely a pound. For the numbers, guys, its overall length is about 6.5 inches with a 2-inch barrel. That's the sweet spot. Small enough to disappear in a pocket holster, but it still has just enough size to give you something to hang on to when it comes time to manage recoil. The alloy frame is what keeps it so light, but it doesn't feel cheap or flimsy in the hand. And those big, squishy rubber grips they put on it? They do a heck of a job taming the beast. And for such a small gun, it's surprisingly easy to control. With standard 38 loads, it's a pussycat. Even with Hot Plus P ammo, it doesn't try to jump out of your hand like some of the ultralight magnums will. Now, it's a double action-only design with fixed sights, totally snag-free. It's not fancy, but that's exactly what you want in a gun you're betting your life on. Let's be real, though. The finish is basic. The trigger pull is good, but it's not the buttery smooth pull you'd find on a high-end Smith or a Kimber. But that's the point. This gun wasn't built to be a safe queen. It was built to be an affordable, everyday workhorse. The bottom line: for the average person carrying concealed, things like weight, reliability, and price matter a whole lot more than a mirror-polished finish. The 856 Ultralite is light, it's practical, and it gives you 1 extra round. That might not sound like a big deal, but if you're ever in a situation where you need 6 shots instead of 5, you'll thank yourself for having it. Number 5. Smith Wesson 642. There is a very simple reason the Smith Wesson 642 is probably the most carried snub-nosed revolver in American history. It just works. This is the classic J-frame airweight, packing 5 rounds of 38 Special plus P into a frame that practically becomes a part of you. On paper, you're looking at a 6.3-inch overall length, a 1.875-inch barrel, and a weight of just 14.6 ounces. It's light enough that you can honestly forget you're carrying it, but it has just enough mass to make the recoil from plus P rounds manageable, unlike some of the ridiculously light scandium frames. The hammer is fully enclosed, which means there are 0 snag points. When you have to pull this thing from a pocket full of keys and lint, that's a feature you'll appreciate. Shooting the 642 is kind of like driving an old, beat-up pickup truck. It rattles, it's not comfortable, but you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that it will start every single time you turn the key. The trigger pull is heavy, no doubt about it, but it's incredibly consistent. Once you put in the range time and learn that trigger, you can run it surprisingly fast and hit what you're aiming at inside defensive distances. The bottom line: the 642 is the very definition of an always gun. It's not the prettiest girl at the dance, and it's not the most fun to shoot for hours on end. but it's been trusted by cops and civilians for decades for one reason. It's dependable. It's the gun you grab when you're just running to the store, and that makes it one of the best defensive tools on the planet. Number 4. Ruger LCR. When the Ruger LCR first hit the scene, a lot of old-school guys just scoffed. A plastic revolver? No thanks. But once you actually get one in your hand and put rounds through it, you realize this little wheel gun is all business. Ruger didn't just copy a J-frame, they engineered this thing from the ground up to be light, snag-free, and most importantly, shootable. The standard 38 Special Plus P version weighs a feathery 13.5 ounces with a 1.87-inch barrel. That's thanks to its unique hybrid frame, a polymer fire control housing on the bottom, married to an aluminum or stainless steel frame up top. It's the best of both worlds, strength where you need it, and weight savings where you don't. It's a classic 5-shot, double-action-only design, so drawing it is smooth and clean. But where the LCR truly leaves its competition in the dust is the trigger. Ruger's engineers performed some kind of voodoo on this thing. It is, without a doubt, one of the smoothest, most consistent double-action pulls you will find on any factory snub-nose at any price. There's no stacking, no grit, just a clean, rolling break that makes it way easier to shoot accurately than it has any right to be. Recoil is definitely there with Plus P rounds, but that Hogue Tamer grip it comes with feels like it was custom-made for your hand and does a phenomenal job of soaking up the shock. The bottom line, the Ruger LCR is the perfect balance between a gun that's easy to carry and a gun you'll actually want to practice with. And that's the secret sauce. A carry gun you hate shooting is a gun you won't train with, and that makes it a liability. The LCR is a tool you can master, and that makes all the difference. Number 3. Smith Wesson 340 PD. All right, now we're getting into the deep end of the pool. This little monster is what happens when you take a J-frame revolver and put it on an extreme crash diet. The Smith & Wesson 340 PD is one of the lightest .357 Magnum revolvers ever made. Picking it up feels like you're holding a toy that bites back like a cornered pit bull. The specs are just insane. 11.8 ounces. That's it. It's achieved through a scandium alloy frame and a titanium cylinder. It's a 5-shot, double-action only, completely snag-free design built for the deepest of deep concealment. And here's the kicker. It's chambered for .357 Magnum. Now, let me be clear. Most people who carry this, myself included, load it with 38 Special Plus P. Why? Because touching off a full-house .357 Magnum in a sub-12-ounce revolver isn't a kick. It is pure violence happening in your hand. It's a straight-up insult to your wrist. Shooting it is a paradox. With 38 seconds, it's snappy, but you can learn to control it. With a .357 Magnum, you will feel it in your teeth. The upside, of course, is that you have Magnum-level power in a gun that weighs less than a can of soup. The J-frame trigger is what you'd expect. Heavy, but smooth and reliable as the sunrise. And this thing will run no matter how much pocket lint it's been swimming in. The bottom line, this is not a beginner's gun. The 340 PD is a professional's tool for people who demand maximum power in the absolute lightest package possible. If you have the training, the hand strength, and you understand the price of admission for that kind of performance, this little revolver offers a level of concealable power that is almost unmatched. Number 2. Kimber K6XS. Kimber really turned heads with their K6 series, and the K6XS is that same formula, just trimmed down and optimized for the daily grind of concealed carry. This is easily one of the sleekest, most modern-looking snubbies on the market, but trust me, it's not just a pretty face. It's built to be a shooter. Let's run the numbers. 15.9 ounces with a 2-inch barrel. That puts it in the lightweight category, but it has just enough heft to soak up recoil. And here's where the Kimber really shines. Capacity. It holds 6 rounds of 38 Special Plus P. In the world of micro revolvers, that extra round is a 20% increase in firepower, and that is a huge advantage. Notice I said 38 Special Plus P. Kimber didn't chase the .357 Magnum Dragon here. They optimized this gun to shoot 38s extremely well, and it shows. The trigger is fantastic, lighter and smoother than most factory snubs. The sights are great, with a bright orange dot up front that your eyes just naturally pick up. On the range, after shooting something like the 340 PD, picking up the K6XS feels like stepping out of a hurricane and into a calm breeze. Recoil is a push, not a punch. It's accurate, comfortable, and it feels like a high-quality machine in your hand. The bottom line: the Kimber K6XS is the gentleman's carry gun. It perfectly blends concealability, shootability, capacity, and style. If you want a modern snub nose that's a genuine pleasure to take to the range and won't beat you up, the K6XS absolutely hits the sweet spot.
Number 1. Colt King Cobra Carry. There's always been a certain prestige that comes with Colt's snake guns, and the King Cobra Carry brings that legendary lineage right into the 21st century concealed carry world. This isn't just a revolver, it's a statement. Specs-wise, it's the heavyweight on our list, tipping the scales at around 26 ounces with a 2-inch barrel. But that weight is a feature, not a bug. It's chambered for .357 Magnum, and it carries 6 rounds. That all-steel construction is what makes shooting it a completely different experience. Firing full-power .357 seconds is still a handful, but in the King Cobra, it's a controllable handful. With 38 Special, it's an absolute dream to shoot. It's soft, it's smooth, and it makes you want to keep practicing. And yes, it has an exposed hammer. In a world of snag-free designs, I know what you're thinking. But that hammer gives you the option of a crisp, light, single-action trigger pull for a precision shot if you ever needed one. The fit, finish, and mechanics are pure Colt. It just feels like a solid, confidence-inspiring tool that will outlast you. It's not the lightest or the smallest gun here, but it might be the best fighting revolver of the bunch. The bottom line? The King Cobra Carry is a serious revolver for serious situations. It's for the carrier who doesn't want to compromise on power or shootability. It combines old-world craftsmanship with modern defensive needs. If you want a snub nose that carries well but shoots like a full-size gun, this snake still has plenty of venom. So, what's the big takeaway here? The wheel gun is far from dead. From a budget-friendly workhorse like the Taurus 856, to a Magnum powerhouse like the 340 PD, all the way up to the all-steel Colt King Cobra, these guns offer a level of simplicity and reliability that's hard to beat. At the end of the day, it's not about chasing the latest trend. It's about having a tool you will actually carry, a tool you'll train with, and a tool you can trust your life with. A revolver's simplicity is its greatest strength. Fewer moving parts means fewer things can go wrong. It's 5 or 6 rounds of pure confidence every time you press that trigger. Hey, if you got some value out of this, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, and drop a comment below telling me which one of these you'd carry. Stay sharp.